My name is Yogya Bhatia and I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company. Today I'll be talking about dowry death. Since a long time we have seen so many offenses against women where they are tortured, and one such offense is dowry death. We all must have heard many cases related to the death caused to a woman for the demand for dowry. It's very disgraceful for a society where a woman dies for not being able to give dowry, and also very shameful for where dowry is still practiced. Dowry death is defined in Section 304B of the Indian Penal Code 1860. Also, Section 113B of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 states the presumptions as to dowry death. Section 304B of the Indian Penal Code states that if a woman dies within 7 years of marriage by any burns or bodily injury, or it was revealed that before her marriage she was exposed to cruelty or harassment by her husband or any other relative of the husband in connection to demand dowry, then the death of the woman will be considered as a dowry death. Punishment for dowry death is a minimum sentence of imprisonment for 7 years or a maximum sentence of imprisonment for life. Essential ingredients: death should be caused by burns or bodily injury or by any other circumstances. Death must occur within the 7 years of marriage. It must be revealed that soon before her marriage she was exposed to cruelty or harassment by her husband or any other relative. The cruelty or harassment on her should be in connection with the demand for dowry. Demand for dowry. As per Section 2 of the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, which says that dowry is any property of valuable security directly or indirectly agreed to be given by one party to a marriage to the other party to the marriage, or by the parent of either party to a marriage, or by any other person or to any other person at or before any time after the marriage in connection with the marriage of the said parties. Various causes to demand dowry. From the ages, we have seen the demand for dowry, but to stop dowry, the demand for it should be understood properly. The various causes are in the name of tradition. We must have seen people calling it a tradition or a custom to be followed in marriages taking place. In the name of tradition, which has to be followed by the bride's family, give valuable to the groom's family. The groom's family asks for dowry. The groom's family voluntarily asks for dowry by giving reasons that the son is placed in a good job and they have a lot of reputation, etc., thinking that it will build a reputation in society. Earlier, people had perceived notion that giving dowry will build up a good reputation in the society. With time, it became a show-off concept in society and people started comparing it with others. Illiteracy. In underdeveloped areas, the literacy rate is very less, and people are unaware of the laws related to dowry, which led to the increased demand for dowry by others. Is dowry death a bailable and a cognizable offense? Bailable offenses, offenses in which the permission from the court to release the arrested person is not required. The arrested person, by fulfilling the necessary requirements, can be released and the police cannot refuse the person. Cognizable offenses, offenses in which the police have the authority to arrest any person without any warrant and also has the authority to start an investigation with or without any permission of the magistrate by filing FIR. Dowry death is a non-bailable and cognizable offence. As per Section 41 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, the police officer, while arresting any person without a warrant, be satisfied with the complaint registered against a person and fulfill all the provisions of Section 41 of the CRPC. One important case law, State of Himachal Pradesh versus Nikku Ram and ORS on 30th August 1995. In this case, the couple was married, and after 5-6 months of their marriage, husband, sister-in-law, and mother-in-law started taunting the wife of the husband for bringing less dowry. They started demanding several things from her, which was not fulfilled by her. The prosecutor filed a case for torturing the deceased and subjected her to cruelty in order to make her bring more dowry. Gradually, the torture on her increased so much that the mother-in-law hit her with a sharp blade on her forehead, causing a deep cut over there. She was unable to tolerate the ill treatment by her husband and by her in-laws. As a result, she committed suicide by consuming naphthalene balls and died. During the investigation, the sharp blade was recovered, and after the completion of the investigation, the husband, sister-in-law, and mother-in-law were charged under Section 304B, 306, and 498A of the Indian Penal Code. and the case against them was registered. The court, after examining all the evidences, it was held that the person who are charged with under Section 304B, 306, and 498A will be free from these criminal charges as the prosecution failed to produce the evidence against them, and only mother-in-law will be guilty under Section 324 of the Indian Penal Code as voluntarily causing hurt to her daughter-in-law, and imposed a fine of Rs 3,000. Failing to pay the fine will attract simple imprisonment for 1 month. Thank you.